Alright folks, welcome back to Jason's Ceramic Room. We're going to make something cool today. We're going to make a large sculpture. Let's get started. Okay, so first things first, let's look at some examples and then I'll show you how we make it. The key thing with the large sculpture is that it has to be hollow. So I like this little frog here. It's green with black polka dots. Got his legs there. But you'll notice he's hollow in there because it's so big it'll explode if it's not hollow. So we are going to make a ball and then we're going to build on it with air pressure inside there so you can push against it, which is cool. And then when you're ready, you can cut open things like this. Sometimes you might need to cut it open from the beginning. They're all different, depends what you do. So here's a cool frog. Okay, here's another frog. Put these things out in your yard and your garden and attract the snails. Scare the birds away. This one's more open on the bottom. It's totally open. You could put your hand in there and it's a puppet. Alright, so we got an owl. All this was with a scraping tool to give it that texture on there. Right, so that you build over a ball of newspaper, but we don't do that one too much unless you're really interested. Here's a ginormous one. So here's the big ball that was solid, and then we built a solid piece of clay, neck and head on there. I did the feet first. Big heavy feet, not like a thin-legged giraffe like you'd imagine, right? It's got big heavy feet like an elephant, but it looks cool. But it's got to support all that weight up here, and it's hard to build skinny-legged animals like a deer or something, so watch out for that. Maybe steer away from those type of things. Made the big hollow body next, and then built a solid clay neck, and then built the head and connected the head on, and was looking at a picture at this point, and started seeing how it was done. You'll notice a little different, strange looking here. It's actually painted with acrylic paint or something because it exploded into 14 pieces because there was no hole in it. Well, one piece got lost, so now there's a hole in it. If there's no hole in it, your potty will explode. Your pot will explode, your project, whatever it is, and it happened to me more than once. So this is probably the second big one I exploded on accident. Recently I did this one to try to have a cool example. You saw me do the small sculpture giraffe maybe, the last video. And before that I had made this hippo. Looked at a picture and tried to draw him. So we've got the body here, right? To put a hole in it this time, right there. Right, put on the legs and then built the head in my hand separately and hooked it on. Right, trying to get it to look like a, did I say giraffe? I mean hippo. My hippo. Alright. Some other strange ones. We did someone challenged me to do a whole head, and then I put the head on this pedestal down here and it actually broke off, so it's glued on. But so this, call him the orange man, the pink, that's some pink skin, huh? Glazes can be funny. Right, and laid the thing of skin on top there, the hair. Put some holes in the back here so it wouldn't explode. There we go, I did my first face sculpture. I don't do a lot of those, so they don't look that great. I did have a student make this hand once. Isn't that cool? They were putting something in there, I forget, and they left it behind for me. Some of the glaze is peeling off, the white, the purple glaze. So you got this. A lot of this is solid. It can be solid because it's not too thick. But down here, this would be a thick bottom, so we carved out the bottom, right? So you can do it that way. So that's pretty cool. Does it have to be a living thing? No. A couple years ago, I made this example. Check out my little Beetle car. And guess what? I made these discs of clay here from slabs. I made an axle, so it actually spins. But of course, clay is glazed and it's super smooth, so if it binds up a little bit it just slides and skids along. It doesn't actually roll very well. There's a couple spots where it grabs. You can see the shape isn't that great here. It's a little wiggly there. So something mechanical like that might have to be perfect if you want moving parts. It's really got to come out square and right for it to do that. But the body could be cool, and of a car, you can make any kinds of car, or any kind of airplane, or weird things like that. Most students don't do that, so you can give it a try. That'd be awesome. Make something unique like that. We've done all of these. The only one left is this little guy. Crazy mouth, right? So pinch pot, fold it down, put on the eyes, put in a tongue and a thing there in your throat. All right, so this is a little more simple one. If you're overwhelmed by this, this is like, this is too much, you can keep it a little simple like this, and I'll show you when we get started. All right, let's get down to the table, and I'll show you how we do this. We're gonna start out with 1, 2 pieces of clay. Pound them into a ball. Small pieces of clay, it can get really big. So that's in my palm there. That might be a little big still, but. And then we're gonna make 2 pinch pots. Our first project we ever did in here. All right. I'm going around, I'm gonna make 2 half circles and put them together, and then you'll have a ball. If that indeed is what your project requires, but it's the way to do it. A lot of them end up needing this type of a body. If you're making a car or something, right, who needs it? You don't need a round ball. So there's one. We're gonna put these together, so I do want 2 flat edges that will come together. Like that. There's one. Let's do this one. Okay, so one of the issues is to get them the same size so they go together. So if you start with the same size of clay pieces, the 2 balls are the same size, you'll get really close. If one's a little small, if one's a little big, you can color this, bring it together. This one's not big enough. Find the thickest places and pinch it a little more, and it'll just make it bigger. There we go. Let's see. Oh, they switch places on me. Now this is this big one. This is the small one. A little bit bigger there. All right. So now flatten those. Looks like it's going to go together nicely. Going to score them. We really want to connect it well. So I'm going to go nice circle score here. Right? Some agua. Happy drops of water on the clay. Who says that? Here we go. And then compress it together. Oh, the air came out. Okay. Once you got it fairly lined up, going to suck together. Now we're going to blend that whole seam out. All right, time lapse that one too, because you can do that. But the basic trick is I'm going to cross back and forth over the seam. Crisscross, it covers it right up. Because when you hold it in your hand so much, it will dry out and start cracking, and it's really hard to connect anything to it. A little bit of water, get it tacky, it'll start to suck the water into it. All right, and really hide that line so you can't tell even where it was. All right, you can flatten things out a little bit if you wanted to. Make it a nice round shape. So you may want it perfectly round. At this point, if you kind of know where the lines are, you can reshape it to be a little bit longer for like the big body of an animal, or the giraffe, how I started to shape the back thinner, the front big and the back thinning out, or the hippo, whatever type of body you need. I'm going to go with fairly round actually. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I was thinking of maybe like a rabbit. I've never done that before, so that would be fun. I'm inspired by my aunt's new baby rabbits. They're so cute. Okay, where's the line? I don't even know where it is, right there I think. So I'm going to think of a little bigger in the front and shrinking. Well, it's going to have a nice humped back. I want to get a little bit longer. If I could tap it down, I can create a flat spot for it. This is going to let little legs be down here and not have big things sticking out. I think the most dangerous thing sticking out of, say, a rabbit will be the ears. Are they going to be laying back and safe, or are we going to risk putting them up in an interesting position? I think this really lends well to the shape of a rabbit. I'm going to get it a little bit longer by pressing it down, tapping it. Don't want to smash it. There we go. So I'm getting a longer shape here. I got a big divot over here. All right. There we go. We want it nice and smooth across there. We might drag some hair in there. Yeah, I think that looks good. See, I got quite a flat bottom now in this curve shape. And that torquing may bring out your line that you made. that you blended and tried to hide, so you may need to hide it again and rub across the crack because you just stressed it out, reshaping it. Okay. A hole there I'm trying to fill. Alright, so now we need to put the head on there, figure that out, that shape. And if it's small enough, it could be solid. If it's not, we're going to have to put a hole in here and a hole into the head. Let's do that. Let's take a look. So here's some more clay. How much we're going to need. Is this going to be enough? Let's into a ball. Let's see. Oh yeah. Something like that. I think it might need to be hollow. It gets too big and too heavy as well. You don't want a super heavy project, do you? So we can get the shape of a rabbit's head. So that's not too complicated. If you look at the picture, it just kind of comes down to its snout. Like a teardrop shape almost. Rounded in the back. Can do about some eyes. Like something round. You can poke eyes on. I can do it with that back of this brush here. Very round eyes. I think pretty big round eyes. Right? I'm only doing that to figure out how it's going to sit and everything. Put the eyes in now. To me about there. There's one on the shelf. It's really eyes are on the side of their head. How does that look? Boom. Right there. Right there. Cool. Alright, so I got like that. Now if we can capture a little bit of detail in the nose would be nice. I think they've got that split lip. Notice I'm trying to work and do all that on this now rather than when it's on here. Because then I gotta pick this whole thing up and twist it and it's much easier to do all this now. Then I just connect it, done. Put a tail on it, some feet. Okay, see? Can't really see it from the top, but from the bottom you can see the mouth. Maybe from the side down low. It'd be cool to be able to put whiskers on there sticking out. This is really going to help with the ears on there. Looks strange without the ears. Right? Okay, now we've got to connect this on here, but we're going to take the weight out of this. We're going to carve this out. So if you have some of these loop tools, it's kind of a weird, strange one. I'd rather have a pure round loop tool, yeah. Perfectly round loop there. We're going to reach in and carve it out and make it lighter. But we're going to leave a rim around here that we can use to connect. Okay? So maybe I make a line here where I'm going to dig out. I do want the chin to stick out, so I don't want that to hook on. Right there maybe. So I'm going to start digging out like that. A little hole. And just start bringing these loops out. Alright, there we are. I've got it cleaned out. I don't know if you can see in there at all, but it's much lighter now and hollow. I've got all of this clay out of there, saying that. Now we can look at hooking it on. I wonder if I should put the ears on first. It's pretty fragile. It's going to be pretty strong to put them on after. But to me, the ears are the last thing to put on because it's sticking up, it's in the top, it's in the way. I want to build them and put them on last. Alright, so we're going to look at this. But I feel like I got a duck body. It's flat, and it needs to be skinnier and taller to look like a rabbit. Thinner lengthwise, like this. All right. And then if that was on there, that feels better to me. More of a curve there. There. Ear's going to be laying back or up. Little feet. Okay. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to scratch this whole area here, whole area there, and hook it together, but we'll need a hole goes from here to here. That way we can put a hole in the bottom of this and there's air in the whole thing. So right in the middle of this, we're going to make our first hole in this. Then we're going to seal it back up. It doesn't have to be too big. We want a good connection, but enough that nothing can go wrong and it can get clogged up. Glaze or something, you know, later on. Alright, let's hook this on. Now we got to be a little more careful with this whole thing. I think we can put tail on, some little feet and all of that now. And they almost can just be shapes, less about being really accurate or anything. So I'm going to put a little cotton ball on the back with this leftover clay. Wouldn't that be cute? Almost. Where to put that. So again, working from reference is going to be key. I'm going to probably put it about there. If he's sitting down, it could work better down here. His feet, his ears. I don't know. Connection on. Now, maybe some feet coming out in the front. Again, don't want to be too big that I have to deal with being hollow. Do some ears here. So let's, whoa, lost the razor blade there. Trying to start with 2 equally sized pieces of clay. Don't do that anymore. Alright. I think if we just kind of round this up, it's all being very rounded type of design. And what if we did like a half a circle that was cut and just went like this? That could be bunny feet on there like that. And we're gonna stick it on right there. Isn't that cute? Here we go. You can pick it up, turn it over, blend it on here. Breaking point there. Blend. Press this apart a little bit there. Alright, can you see it so far? Looks funny without the ears, huh? We'll see if that puts it together. Now there would be some feet here. That's a tougher one, kind of figure out without looking at a picture, but I think they're kind of half hidden. Yeah, we're going to make kind of a foot that's rounded and kind of cut it one half and put it on there so it's more like a relief sticking out. That's fine. That looks funny without back feet. So let's... this razor blade's broken. Okay. How much time do we got? Run out of time. Half hour. Okay, we're going to go like this, kind of figure out maybe like this, and then up a little bit, I think. We can push this clay back to make the foot, and up, like this. I don't want it sticking too far out, it'll look funny. I'm going to flatten that down like I talked about. That's gonna fit on there like that. Okay, we need 2 of those. Okay, so this takes some refining work. Round it all off, get it smooth. I think that looks pretty good. So here's what I did. Okay, this top is flat to go against the body. And I just created this whole shape. It's going to just all score all along that in here and stick it on. So if I go like this, I can kind of see where I want it. I can mark it, score it, but I'll probably score the whole thing for hair. Bam, alright. I was a little too zoomed in there. I zoomed all back out, get my head back into the picture. Alright, ears. Let's see. Let's use this thing. Fairly thin. I think it would be good to use a slab of clay and form this slab of clay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to run this through the slab roller. Cut out 2 pieces. Boom. Let's do this. Cut out 2 ears. Shapes. Maybe both sides of that would create the end. So always looking for things that will make the shape you want. And I even like how it curves back in. Wow, that's cool. Flip it over. Get the thickness we want. Cut that. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Like an ear of a rabbit. But those are big. So we can just keep cutting it down to the size we need. Start figuring out. Don't go too much at first. What kind of like if they laid down like that, it'd be that's big. Lots of big ears. Trim it up so I have 2 that are the same size. Alright, put this together. Do we want them up? Do we want them laying back? Curved? That's kind of cute. Because I'm thinking about strength so they won't break easy. So if they're hooked on in 2 places, it's a lot less likely that they would break. Right? Oh, this head is fragile. Just kind of cute. Does it say rabbit? Of course, when they're up like this and curved forward, like they're listening, one maybe tilted forward, a little bit forward. That is really cool too, but quite a bit more fragile. What if one is back, one up? Oh, it's hard to know. They're just both back, you know. His body looks a little white again. Well, let's create the shape at least. Smooth out those hard cut edges, round it off. Like we did the rose on the box top. And we can get fatter down here again. Sometimes I'll tap it down like that to get a thicker part to connect on. So that's a good connection. Okay, we're gonna curve this forward. You can even press in there and bend it out. It's gonna crack the back a little bit, smooth that out. Okay, then we get this nice curved ear, bunny shape, thin, arced, you know. So whatever we decide to do, whether it's back or up and big, it might be too big. Maybe about that size. I don't know. But really where they're sticking up, it's just gonna break. They go like that. What if they were flopped down next to him? Oh, there we go. That's probably what some of you were saying. Flop it down. Talking to the screen of my... Put it down. That's what a rabbit looks like. I've never had rabbits. Oh, that's how you gotta do it. That's cute. See, they gotta go down like that. That's the thing. Which means, I don't know if I wanna round these off. Which is good because then I have even more to connect to here. Like that. It'll frame in the eye. Thin that out a little bit. Okay. The other one will go there. That one I'm going to tag onto this foot, and probably this one to the side of the body. Alright, let's do it. It sticks onto that. So now it can't get broken too easy with all this connection going down. That's kind of why I wanted to go back. I got some marks here. Lengthwise down the body. It looks like I'm going to be able to hook it to the foot here too. I think I'm done. The only thing I could think about now would be to like create texture of hair on there. I don't know if I want to do that now. Looks kind of nice and smooth. In here, I worked that a little bit too much. Ta-da! The rabbit. See? A little time. A little working out the problems. Ooh. Remember, we got to put a hole in the bottom of it. But let me get you up here so you can see all the way around. Back, little tail. Looks like it's to the left too much. I can slide a little bit. Going around, it's got his head, his feet, ears. Do you feel like we need to see a mouth at all there? Oh, I see a little bit there. This like could come up. I can work on that later. Okay, looking good. All right, you can do this. Think about what animal you want to do and come in prepared to give it a try. You got this.